The Netherfield Circle. In Chapter 8, Elizabeth remains at Netherfield to tend to Jane, while the interactions between the other characters, particularly between Elizabeth, Mr. Darcy, and the Bingley sisters, deepen. The Bingley sisters, Miss Caroline Bingley and Mrs. Hurst, continue to display their contempt for Elizabeth. They criticize her appearance and manners, highlighting the difference in social class and refinement between the Bennet family and themselves. Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy's growing attraction. Despite their criticisms, Mr. Darcy begins to show more interest in Elizabeth, though he maintains a reserved and proud demeanor. He is intrigued by Elizabeth's wit, intelligence, and independent nature, all of which contrast with the superficial qualities of the Bingley sisters. During their conversations, Darcy and Elizabeth discuss various subjects, including accomplishments in women. Miss Bingley tries to win Mr. Darcy's favor by agreeing with everything he says and putting down Elizabeth. However, Darcy is more captivated by Elizabeth's confident and honest replies. Jane's condition. Throughout the chapter, Jane's condition improves, but she is still too ill to return home, which pleases Mrs. Bennet, who hopes this will give Jane more time with Mr. Bingley. Elizabeth continues to stay by her sister's side, unconcerned by the judgments of the Bingley sisters. Miss Bingley's jealousy. Caroline Bingley, who is clearly interested in Mr. Darcy herself, grows increasingly jealous of his attention to Elizabeth. She tries to belittle Elizabeth at every opportunity, but Darcy remains focused on Elizabeth's admirable qualities. This dynamic sets the stage for future tension between Caroline Bingley and Elizabeth. In this chapter, we see Darcy's inner conflict between his attraction to Elizabeth and his sense of social superiority. Meanwhile, Elizabeth remains unaware of Darcy's growing interest, and her opinion of him remains low due to his earlier prideful behavior. Both chapters highlight the Bennet family's social dynamics, the developing attraction between Darcy and Elizabeth, and the growing rivalry between Elizabeth and Caroline Bingley. They also emphasize the theme of social class, which plays a significant role in the unfolding romantic and familial relationships